Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Quiroz, Interim Manager for the Small Business Development Department. I'd like to welcome you all to the San Diego International Airport first virtual Meet the Primes event 2020. Most of you remember last year we were at Balboa Park and had over 60 exhibitors and nearly 500 attendees. This year is definitely different, but we still wanted to provide small businesses the opportunity to outreach and connect with the primes. For any business new to Meet the Primes, the objective of our event is not only to present the industry prime contractors, but also to provide resources to help small businesses become successful, to learn about opportunities, resources, and valuable information that can help elevate your business. With that said, I want to welcome Sundt Construction, who is our presenter for today. Welcome, Deanna, and thank you for your participation. Please introduce yourself and your team.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Sundt presentation for Meet the Primes here today, and I will be introducing the team members as we move along here. First, we're going to do a little bit of reiterating what Maria said about the process for using Zoom, which I'm sure everyone has a lot of experience doing already. But the most important part is the questions, and you can use Alt-H to get to the chats and then just send us your questions, send as many as you can. And then at the end, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you guys to share your company name, your name, any type of small business or minority or veteran business certification you have. So we'll get to that at the end here. Right now, today's agenda is introduction. I'll get to you with the presenters. The safety by choice is something that's very important to Sundt and gets to know us a little bit better. Our opportunities and pursuits, pre-construction process, how to get involved with us, the pre-qualification and registration, how to get into our database, and Sundt and XBE participation. And what we use XBE as, if you remember back in high school, X replaces everything. So BE would be small business, minority business. So X replaces all of that. So that's what we're going to share with you today. Here is everybody that's going to be speaking from Sundt. Brad Kirsch is our project director. Brian Parker's pre-construction specialist. Reese Fortin is safety manager for this area. Lisa Best is the pre-qualification manager. And I am Deanna Andrews, and I am the XBE coordinator for the state of California. With that said, I'd like to hand it off to Brad to introduce a little bit more about Sundt.
Hi, my name is Brad Kirsch, project director with Sundt. Very excited to be part of this again this year. Sundt's been participating in this event for many years going. I wanted to give a few quick highlights about Sundt if you don't already know us. We were founded in 1890, so we've been around for over 130 years. We're 100% employee owned. You can see a few of the awards listed below. We have won the agency National Graham Safety Award twice. We're the only contractor in the United States to have won that twice. We've been best place to work for several years in a row here in San Diego. And you can see that we have had some very successful participation projects, both for XBE and local. Anyway, those are just a few of the Sundt highlights real quick to start out. Office locations. We have an office right here in Mission Valley in San Diego, another office in Irvine, and then a Sacramento office as well that covers all of Northern California. I wanted to thank the San Diego International Airport. We've been working with the airport on and off for the last 11 years. It's been a great experience working for them. They've helped us to become a better contractor. We've had a great collaboration with them over the years. We started working with them way back in the day. I'll give a little bit of history of that. But coming up, what you're going to hear about a lot is this airport development plan, envisioning the new Terminal 1. We're excited to be shortlisted for some of that work and hope to be able to continue forward in building that work for the airport as well. Our goal is to keep the money local and to keep it with small business. So you'll see throughout this just how we plan to support LVEs and XBEs. And then before I turn it over to Reese, I just want to do a shout out to our current project at the International Airport, the airport support facilities. We achieved the Cal OSHA Voluntary Prevention Program, the Cal OSHA VPP as we call it. And this is a very select award for contractors in California, and something that we worked very hard on for well over a year in conjunction with the Airport Authority. It was a great collaboration with them to be able to achieve that. And I'd like to turn it over to Reese, who is our safety manager.
Hi, good morning, everybody. So thanks, Brad, for the intro there. And to reiterate again, we are a very winning company when it comes to safety. Again, we're the only two-time winner of the AGC Construction Safety Excellence Award. And that is a big deal. That says a lot about our company and our culture. There's some other awards listed here that we've had, and you're more than welcome to check them out. They're on our website at sundt.com on our safety page that we have up. And there's a lot of information there for you. Going on, we have done a lot of things for COVID here at Sundt. We are doing everything we can to protect our workers and personnel and public from COVID exposures. We're screening all the personnel that show up at each job site for temperature checks and symptoms. We have social distancing in place, and we're enforcing face covers, as well as a lot of other controls. But this is something that we're following CDC guidelines on, and more of the most stringent controls that are available. There's a couple pictures right here if you're curious to see what it looks like, where we have our screeners set up when people come in. Sometimes we do a drive up, or sometimes we do a walk up. And then with Sundt, we treat our subs differently than what you might be used to. I have heard a lot of great feedback from our trade partners about our safety program and how they really like working for us, and it makes our job easier to work for us. We are so safe, and our jobs are ran so smoothly and consistently from one to another that our trades are pretty happy about it. You can imagine showing up to work on a job site that's clean and organized, and there's a plan in place, and you get that first impression. And that's what Sundt job sites are like. Let's keep going. So partnering with Sundt, what it looks like, we've got a really fair playing field. We've got some very strict safety requirements. Don't get me wrong. It's not a walk in the park to work with us. We are very serious when it comes to safety, but don't let that scare you away either. But what that means to you as a trade partner, that means that you're going to be held just as accountable as any other contractor on site. We're not going to be playing favorites or letting people get away with anything. Everybody's held to the same standards. Our jobs are well ran. We've got great facilitation and execution of our work. We've got something in place called relentless housekeeping, which is an industry game changer when it comes to safety and quality and production and schedule. It's fantastic. So going on, I'll show you a couple pictures about that here shortly. So want to let you guys know, we're at your service. Our safety department at Sundt is very experienced. We've been working with a lot of contractors, thousands and thousands of different contractors, and we've compiled some of the best information in the industry at our fingertips. So we are at your service. If you need anything safety related, safety, health, or environmental, let us know, or me. I'll share my email here shortly, but we have everything you need. So don't be fighting things in a silo, thinking you don't have the safety information that you need. Let us know. We're here to help you. General safety questions too.
And I want to jump in there. This is Deanna. I want to jump in there and just reiterate what Reese said. She is here to help. And this is one thing that I am just so happy about with regards to having a team member who really wants to help the small business community. And she's been such a great help with those companies. Sometimes you come in and you don't have that really robust safety plan, and she will help you with that. And she'll walk you through that, and she'll guide you through making, getting all the paperwork done and everything. I just want to throw that out there because she's just been amazing, and I want to make sure you guys know that.
Thank you, Deanna. Yep, it's our pleasure. Here's a couple photos that you might find interesting. This is what it's going to look like if you're on our job site with Relentless Housekeeping, and that is all of our job sites. Rebar, you normally show up on a job site and you have rebar scattered all over the place. Even that is something that is perfectly controlled on our sites. Our Connex boxes, you walk into them and it's usually it's like you walk in and you don't know what's going to jump out and get you, but we have, even our Connex boxes are completely organized and clean. So it's a different environment when you're on a Sundt job site. We're so organized and keeping everything clean. I'm super proud too of our airport support facilities project that just got that VPPC award through Cal OSHA. It's fantastic, and I'm super proud of this project and our team and our company at Sundt. So if you let me finish up here, there's my email address. Make sure you write it down or take a picture of it or whatever. I'm here for you if you need anything at all. I can also send you a full slide deck of what it's going to be like to work at the airport and what safety requirements are going to be, what they're looking for safety programs and safety documents and safety supervision. I can send that to you if you'd like more information. But to finish it off, aviation is a very unique industry to work in, especially when it comes to construction and safety. There are some major risks that are not typical on a typical job site. So we have to have detailed planning, and it is safety on steroids a bit. But we're here for you. If you need anything, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Reese. We will be showing her email at the end as well if you don't catch it this time around. But right now, we'd like to take time out to do a poll question. Has your company worked at the San Diego airport before in the past? There's been a lot of work out there. So we're going to open that up right now. And if you can please go ahead and vote so we can get a good count out there. It just helps us and helps also San Diego airport know how many people are out there that have been working with them. Awesome. Okay, we're going to give it just a little bit more time. I'm going to give you a full minute. Make sure everyone, we've got 52 of 71. So if you can just click on that. Yes or no, not sure is a good one. Okay, we have 56 of 71. All right, so it looks like 61% of you have not. Oh, well, you're in for a great experience because there's lots of money out there at the San Diego airport of projects, and there's a lot of work going on. So there's a lot of opportunity. Thank you, Maria. So does everyone see the results? You got 18 that have and 35 that have not and 4 that are not sure. So thank you very much. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to Brad, and he's going to share a little bit for you with regards to the San Diego International Airport projects that Sundt has participated in. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, all right. I wanted to share a little bit of this previously because I was so excited, but we've been working at the airport since I think 2009 and started out with the greenfield landside improvements with the elevated departure roadway and the USO building on the right-hand side. Great project in regards to local and small XBE. You can see the results there at the bottom of the screen. And that really was the airport's first significant construction project, quite a while, first significant project really trying to drive small business participation and local participation. And then a few years later, we were fortunate to be part of the Railcar Center construction, over a 2 million square foot building. It was a pretty exciting project. The concrete frame for this building went up in 12 months, and for 2 million square feet, that is quite a feat. Again, a great project. We really worked hard to bring in local and small business firms to help us. And, both these projects are really, they're not done just by Sundt. They're done by a large group of subcontractors, and are really only as good as the subcontractors that we have working along with us. And so several of you may have been part of these, and we want to thank you for the efforts that were done in regards to those projects. Our current work at the airport, this actually shows really all the work that we've done in different portions of the airport. But our current work at the airport includes what we call the airport support facilities, includes the AFO, the FMD, and the ASB area on the screen, all part of a single contract. A few pictures from that. The facilities management department campus was 2 buildings and a new campus that we developed. The airport support building is currently being completed along Harbor Drive. It's about 95% complete, and 10 improvements for that building for 4 different airlines will start after the first of the year. And then what you can't see that's across the street from the Railcar Center is a 3.2 million gallon underground cistern. that was built 35 feet into the ground and could hold, like I said, 3.2 million gallons. So that was quite a challenge when we're building with groundwater 8 feet below ground. But nevertheless, it's now complete, and we're paving a parking lot over the top of it right now. Some of the results here from the airport support facilities, you can see all the first and second tier trades that we've had involved. It really, like I said before, we are only as successful as the subcontractors that we have working along with us, and there were many people that helped make us, perform well on this project. To date, we've had $134 million go to 353 firms in regards to small business, or XBE. And, Sundt's proud of our aviation history. Our aviation history started back in 1942, so 78 years of experience. And just in the last 15 years, we've completed 35 aviation projects. We have our aviation market trailer here. This always gets me pretty fired up when I watch it, but just a trailer we put together to represent some of the work that we've done.
Since 1942, Sundt has had a rich history of aviation projects. From airport terminals to hangars, runways, and one iconic launch pad. We keep high-stakes client operations moving while working on tight schedules. We build landside and airside infrastructure, improving the experience of air travelers across the country. We keep our nation's armed forces ready and prepared to respond. Sundt's aviation projects allow our nation to take flight.
All right. Anyway, I feel like I can run through a wall now and want to do more airport work. But anyway, that's just a little bit of a snapshot of our aviation experience. And we have another poll here for you all.
Yeah, it's Deanna again. And I have to tell you, I get a little teary-eyed. Brad gets excited. I get teary-eyed. I've been with the company 27 years. So it's kind of cool to see that and everything we've done. And you guys can be a part of it. Here's our second poll. Has your company worked with us before in the past? We've been around a long time, so I'm hoping that a lot of you have. Ooh, let's see. Wow, it's looking like a lot haven't. So this is good that you're on this call right now and seeing how to get involved with us. It's cool.
Deanna, we'll give it a few more minutes.
Yeah. We got, what, 59 of 75 have voted. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see, I can't see the results, but I hope you guys can, but there's 41 that have not, and there's 12 that have, and 6 that are not sure. Well, not being sure, yeah, you can still reach out to us and you can find out if you are pre-qualified with us or not. But that is where the next step we're going to be going to is how to work with us and why to work with us. So it's great that there's 41 of you that haven't had that experience yet. So sit back and we'll show you how to get involved. And the next person to speak will be Brian, who's going to share with you a little bit of why you want to work with us.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of people haven't had the opportunity yet to work with us. So why work with Sundt? So a couple items on here is the slip insurance, subcontractor liability. We offer that for all of our, or most of our projects. It offers general liability coverage and greater and longer coverage for our projects. But also in addition to that, we have sub-default insurance, the SDI, and we use that in lieu of individual bonding. So we still do bond on occasion, but most of the time we can cover most contractors under our sub-default insurance. This levels the playing field between all the bidders. We offer also high-level training opportunities, labor compliance, OSHA, change management, contract help. Really, we want to provide opportunities to be successful, because when you guys are successful, that means we're successful on a project. So a couple of current opportunities we have here that are going to be bidding soon in Southern California. The CSU Fullerton Student Housing Project. It's a $140 million design build project. It's going to be bidding later on this year. We have the County of LA Rancho Los Amigos. It's a $320 million design build project that's going to be awarded in winter, spring of 2021. We have the SDUSD Morris High School Phase 3. It's a $45 million leaseback project that's going to be bidding out in winter of 21. The Golden West Community College Language Arts Complex, it's actually bidding now currently. It's a $43 million multi-prime project. Southwestern Community College, the IT building is actually my project. It's about a $15 million CM at risk project. We're going to be bidding now in early spring of 2021. And then we have the Elegance at San Gabriel. It's a $60 million CM at risk project that's going to be bidding out later this winter and early 2021.
Yeah, I want to jump in there again because I always do. Sorry about that. But I would just want to clarify some things. There's some stuff here that's in bright red. Please be sure that you identify or contact the estimator for the specific project you're interested in to make sure that you're doing all the pre-qualifications. So you definitely have to pre-qualify with Sundt. And we're going to talk about that. But some of these projects, some of these school projects especially, they have their own pre-qualification that you have to go through. If you're not pre-qualified with them, we can't invite you, whether you're pre-qualified with us or not. So it's super important to make sure you're pre-qualified with these different schools. There's a lot of money out there and a lot of construction being built. So the flyer that we will provide for you will have who the estimating contact person is for each of these projects so that you'll be able to reach out to them and make sure you're on board with these schools so that you can be invited to the work. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Definitely, and we're going to be there to help, get you guys through that pre-qualification as well.
Yeah.
And then here are a list of current pursuits in Southern California. Like Brad had mentioned, I think earlier, the San Diego Airport Administration building's coming out here later this year. It's an $80 million design build project, prevailing wage and under the PLA. There's various projects at the San Diego Unified School District that are going to be released fall and winter of 2021. There's between $30 and $70 million that are going to be lease-back projects. Southwestern Community College District, there's going to be a few projects actually coming out in the $400 million range that we're going after, spring and summer of 2020. San Bernardino Community College District, 20 and 2021, there's $470 million coming out for that one. And then there's various Cal State University projects in LA, Orange County, San Diego, San Bernardino that are design build and CM at risk projects between $35 and $130 million. And then there's also miscellaneous federal projects that we're chasing after for the Army Corps of Engineers. There's MAX at China Lake, the NAFAC in Coronado. These projects are between $50 and $100 million, and we're going after all those as well. So how do you work with Sundt? So, and how the pre-construction process works. So when we're getting ready to bid a project, we start with creating a sub list, and we sort that by the pre-qual max value of the packages we're looking at and use our pre-qualification at Sundt to sort and populate our bidders list. EMR also plays a big role in that. There's usually on projects an EMR rating limit that we can only go up to. And then sometimes bonding capacity as well. So if you can't meet the pre-qualification, there's still opportunities to bid on our projects. We just may have to carry some bonding in there for those. We go through our internal database and we populate our list with as many people as possible. We'll do phone calls and outreaches and try to max out our lists and get as many people involved as possible. And then when the invitation is ready to be sent out, it gets sent out through the system we're using, whether it's Planet Bids like we use at the airport or I Square Foot for other projects. On there, all the plans and specs and bid forms and exhibits and documents can be downloaded. And then there's a really important thing in there where you indicate whether you're interested in bidding or not. So we'll do a lot of follow-up, but it's really helpful when you're going through these to click yes or no when you're looking at the project so we can know to focus on you on the projects that you're actually interested in. And then in addition to that, we also established the XBE participation goals, which are really important on a lot of these projects, especially at the airport. And we'll put commitment percentages that we want every package to hit and goals for every scope of work to make sure we're hitting the overall goal that we've said that we can hit for the project.
Thank you, Brian. Now, how many of you are pre-qualified with Sundt? Now, a lot of you said you haven't worked with Sundt, so I'm going to think that you're not pre-qualified with Sundt, but let's see what the count is. Can you go ahead and do the poll question? This will be the last poll question. And we'll give you some time to answer to that. Wow, okay. There's several that are not sure, so we'll definitely be addressing that here shortly. A lot that are not, so that's, you're going to want to listen to the next few slides coming up. There's about 5 that are, so that's good.
Yeah, you want to give it a few more minutes, Deanna?
It's 56 of 79. I think that's about how many have been voting, so I think we're good. Thank you, everybody, for voting on that. Well, this is, I'm really glad about these results because that means you're going to get a lot out of this presentation. So I'm excited about that. So let's go on to listen to Lisa Best, who's our manager for pre-qualification. She'll explain to you how to get pre-qualified with us so you can be invited to bid on projects. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah. So hello, everyone. I'm the pre-qual manager here at Sundt Construction. And first, I'm just going to address the questions about who needs to get pre-qualified. So the contractors who are going to want to get pre-qualified are those that hold a contractor's license and are installing something permanent on the project site. So those are the ones that require pre-qual. And then Deanna will talk a little bit later about the vendors, suppliers, and those other firms that don't require pre-qual but have to go through a separate process. So to kick off the pre-qualification, you're going to want to go to our Sundt website and click on the Partnerships tab. And so from there, you'll scroll down, and we've got a separate section for subs and vendors. So you'll click Apply Now on the subcontractors. And what that is going to do is going to take you to our platform I²Foot is where our pre-qualification form is housed. So after you click Apply Now, you'll go to I²Foot, and you'll fill out some basic company level information about your company, and then we will turn around and send you an invite to get pre-qualified. And I've highlighted here on this slide just some basic information that you're going to want to collect before you get into the pre-qual form, just so you're ready and prepared for the information that we're asking. So the first thing we ask for is the experience modification rate. And so for those of you working in California, we actually are looking to see it on the official WCIRB form. And if you're not familiar with that form, we do have a link on the pre-qual form with an example of what we're looking for. And if you're a smaller business and maybe you don't qualify for a rating, then we just want a letter from your insurance broker stating that you don't qualify. And then some other things that we're going to be asking for are your contractor's licenses, what you're licensed to do, and then those business certifications. So any smaller, diverse business certifications, we really want you to upload those so that we know and we have those on file. And then project history and references. So just looking at what are the past projects that you've worked on and what projects you have currently and what's in the pipeline, just so we can get a general gauge of the type of work that you perform and your typical project sizes. So then if you are looking to pre-qualify for more than $250,000 a project, we do also require receipt of financial statements. And so when I say financial statements, we're looking for something that's externally prepared. So something that an external CPA has verified. So compiled, reviewed, audited, really those statements that you have to provide your surety, that's what we're looking for. And then, if you don't have one of those services performed, we'll also accept an income or tax return. And then also a bonding letter. So a letter from your surety listing your single and aggregate bonding limits as well. So we obviously, all the information that you submit to us, including the financials, is considered confidential. But if you don't want to submit it on the portal or via email, we can also set up a shared screens meeting via GoTo or Teams, so that way I can view the financial information, but I'm not actually retaining a copy of the statements. And then also important to note that if you have pre-qualified with us in the past, we do require that you update annually. So you're just going to want to fill out a renewal. Most of your information in the past will pre-populate in the form, but we just ask for some documents every year get updated. So if you're not sure if you're currently pre-qualified, please reach out to me. I think my email will be at the very end of the presentation. And then we also have a handout that we'll be providing, which will kind of walk you through how to get pre-qualified. And I'll pass it over to Deanna, who's going to talk about the vendor registration process.
Thank you. I also want to just throw a couple pieces out here. It's very important that we do see your financials so we can give you a max contract value, because that's, as Brian showed you, that's how we establish our lists for our estimated, the trade packages that we've already pre-estimated based off of what we're looking at. So if you want to be a part of that, we want you to have the maximum amount of opportunity there. So please make sure you do that. And as Lisa said, if you don't feel comfortable mailing them in or emailing them in, she will work with you. She just needs a few numbers so she can look online in a GoToMeeting or a Teams meeting to see that. So please, I can't emphasize more. It's really important to have those financials and really important to have that bonding letter. Not that we're going to bond you, but like Brian said, because we have a bonding program in place, but like Brian said, sometimes if you're going after a dollar value that's higher than what your maximum value is showing, we want to see what you can bond for to see if we can bring you in at that level. So it's real important, those two things. I just wanted to put that out there with you guys. And now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the other side of that little visual there. You go to the same place, Sundt.com, partnerships and vendor suppliers and A&E. Now, this is what Lisa was saying. She described what's needed for subcontractors. The other side of the coin are vendors, suppliers, professional services companies, rental companies, and there are a select few companies that you would consider to be subcontractors that don't have to get pre-qualified, but we do need them as a registration. So this is where you would click on register now. And again, it identifies there what we're looking for the vendor registration. It does go into a different location for our database. So it's important that subcontractors don't go into this side because you will not have to do financials and we need that. But also this identifies some exemptions to the pre-qualification. So these are the companies that we would want you to get registered. And as you can see, there's things like traffic control, right? Which you would say, well, that's a subcontractor because they have an EMR and they have a license and so forth. That's true, but they don't have to get pre-qualified, but they do have to be in here. Final clean, same scenario, right? So if you think your trade doesn't need to be pre-qualified, reach out to me, or you can reach out to the pre-qual department, which would be Lisa and her assistants, and they can help you to identify whether you should go through pre-qual or you should be registered. But make sure that you go into the right location so that we can identify you and find you. And then you just pick vendor registration. And then we will have a handout for this as well. Now, the items that we look for vendor registration are, we don't have the financials, like I told you. The EMR, typically, vendors don't have that. Professional services don't have that. But the final clean, the survey, the traffic control, those, they're going to have an EMR. So we are looking for you to provide that information when you register. And again, if you don't qualify, then just a letter from your insurance company, just like Lisa said, that's no different. And if you're not sure if you need to have that, then again, reach out to us. You will be selecting from construction specifications, CSI codes. We don't use NACE codes for selection. We use the CSI codes. So we want you to pick what you actually do, perform, provide in services, materials, and equipment. And then there's an area there where you can have 20 words or less where you can identify what you especially do as self-perform, because a lot of the CSI codes are not going to cover some of the things that the vendors and suppliers provide. Some of that unique stuff we want to know about, because during the course of construction, something comes up and a superintendent calls me on the phone and says, hey, I need something for this particular unique item. Sometimes like, videotaping in the piping underneath the ground or something unique. I can't come off the top of my head on that. But I go in and I run a report and I look under those self-perform items. So just make sure it's 20 words or less. Just put in keywords of what you do. Note and upload all of your certifications. Again, super important. All certifications are important, whether they're self-certifications, they're local, they're state, they're federal, all certifications, because it depends on the owner and what they're looking for on our projects. We're looking for all of them. So any certification you have, please be sure to upload it and put it in there. Again, self-certification or certified through an agency. And then at the end, you can identify a project, specific project, or a contact name. If there's a project you want to be notified about, or you want to, somebody has sent you to get registered with us, then go ahead and put their name on there. And that way, when I see your registration and I go through all of the information, make sure everything's there, I'll send it to that person. So you're getting in front of them. The next thing is becoming part of the team as a supplier or a vendor or so forth, right? How do you become part of it? Because we as Sundt are construction managers and we don't typically hire the vendors and suppliers and equipment rentals. Sometimes we do, depending on the need out in the job site. But what we do is we establish goals, like Brian mentioned, on each one of our trade packages. And those goals have to be met and exceeded by our subcontractors that are being awarded. And sometimes we have a best value evaluation where they're telling us this is what we can give you, and we'll give them points for that. And then they'll say, and we can do more than that, and we'll give them points for that, or we give them points for doing local business participation. So we really emphasize that in our whole team. All of our subcontractors are a part of that. With regards to networking and getting in front of those subcontractors, right now, because of COVID, in the past, we had, big outreach events and so forth. But right now, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have a website where people are going to be able to connect with whoever the bidders are. I also use non-disclosure agreements where if you're interested in a specific project, you see it on the flyer, then you reach out to me and say, hey, I'm interested in knowing who the bidders are under the electrical package. Then I have you sign that non-disclosure agreement. I send it over to the bidders, the electrical bidders. They agree to get your information, and then I exchange that information so that you can contact them and they can reach out to you. And then I provide bidders with a list of these companies out of our database, out of like the airport's database, out of the various databases where I get company names that are XBEs and local, and I'll supply those lists to the bidders. So that's the type of networking I try and do. So the more information you provide to us in our database, the better I'm going to be able to network you with them. And then there's always that indirect miscellaneous type of stuff that we do out in the field where you can just call me up or you can email me and say, hey, I'm interested in working with Sundt. How do I go about doing that? And there could be some stuff on the mobilization side where Sundt is actually purchasing those services or purchasing those or renting equipment or purchasing those supplies. So there's always opportunities. Never give up on trying to get involved. This is our website. It's special to the San Diego airport. It's Sundt at the San Diego airport. As you saw from that one big picture, how much work we've done out there. Well, we plan on doing a lot more work with them. So we're going after a lot of work. So you're going to be able to see potential opportunities on this site. You'll be able to take a look at, completed projects. You'll be able to see what you need to do to work with Sundt. And there'll be links in there that'll take you back to our main site to get pre-qualified, registered. With the San Diego airport, we do everything in Planet Bids. So you'll have a link to get into Planet Bids. We'll also identify our team partners with their email addresses for whatever projects is being bid out at that time. We're also going to share with you any events or workshops that are going on either from us or from our partners like the Small Business Development Center or even San Diego Unified, or if the airport's doing something, we will have that on here. And then we'll have our contact information. And this just shows the projects that we are actually going after. So you can click on this and then it'll give you more information here, the airfield pavement, which Brad will talk about. And then we have a link to the San Diego airport itself because they have a lot of opportunities. So you can come in here, click on that, and it'll take you right to their website. So with all that said, I'd like to hand it over to Brad so he can finish it up by telling you what's coming down the road for us with the San Diego airport. Go ahead, Brad.
All right. What you see on the screen is a snapshot of the airport development program that San Diego has been working so hard on. The yellow, larger rectangular shapes, as well as the light green roadways, are part of a contract that was previously awarded, not to our company, but to a different joint venture that pursued that work. The two projects that we are really focused on now are the new admin building, that small square over there. It's actually about 150,000 square foot office building, and we're extremely excited about that. We're one of 3 general contractors that have been shortlisted for that work, and the RFP will come out here in the next month. The airfield pavement project is another scope of work that we are tracking and planning to pursue. That will be a hard bid project that will come out in July of this coming year, but it includes a light paving, grading, utilities, infrastructure, really all the airside work required to support the development of the terminal. All right, we wanted to give you a little bit of a snapshot of some of the other work we do here and some of the XBE and success that we've had. This is a project that we completed at CSU San Bernardino recently, achieving $18 million of XBE over the $44 million worth of work, and that was completed last year, actually this year. Cal Poly Pomona, a very exciting design build project for us, almost $160 million of completed last year. Again, you can see the list of firms that help support us there. All these firms were very integral to the success of that project, and we achieved almost half of the project was XBE. And then finally, I just want to celebrate some of the San Diego Unified School District work that we're currently doing, the Emerson Bandini Elementary School and Morris High School. Both of those are lease back. The Emerson Bandini project is 41% complete. And Morris High School, we are almost complete with phase 2. And as Brian was talking about, we're going to be bidding out phase 3 in this coming year. Again, great success with local and XBE, and we're thankful for, well, here are the results. We're thankful for all of these trades that have helped us to be successful at San Diego Unified School District.
Thank you, Brad. And I'm going to just tack on here. As you can see, I'm showing the first tier and the second tier. This is not all, right? I needed to put what was out there, but I just wanted you to see that it could be in any area, and we're looking for all those areas because at any time something can come up. So just make sure you have all your information filled out. And super important, make sure that the contact names and emails on both pre-qualification and vendor registration, I'm hoping that you have generic ones. If not, make sure it's somebody that is not going to win the lottery anytime soon or go on vacation or whatever, because what will happen is we send invites, and this has happened many times. We'll send invites to bid on something and the company doesn't hear about it because that person went on vacation or is no longer with the company. So make sure, super important, and this isn't just with Sundt, this is with all registrations that you've done, all pre-qualifications, make sure you have either a generic email that everybody gets at your office, or you have somebody who, update all of that contact information, make sure that that person's still with you and didn't win the lottery. Okay, so the next thing, we're coming to an end here. And this is the chat question I was telling you about. If at the very end, you can go ahead in the chat box, put your company name, your contact information, your name. I think we will probably have your email address and everything. If we don't in your registration, make sure you put that. What you self-perform. So give us 1 or 2 trades of what you self-perform, and then any and all of the XBE, small, minority, veteran, self, local, state, federal. There's a whole bunch out there. So just make sure you identify those. Those are super important for us. And at the end, this is everyone who spoke today and everyone's email address. You can reach us. Elizabeth is the person that's the estimating assistant. She knows when projects are being bid out. She's the keeper of the list of the bid invitations that go out in I square foot. So she is a good contact to know, as well as everyone that's on here is open and ready and willing to help you guys. All this information, this presentation, our email addresses, the flyers that we showed you that we have for you, all that will be supplied for you through the airport. We'll give all that to them. Okay. And with that, I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us. Back at you, Maria.
Great work, Deanna. Actually, it's back to me, Alma, over here at the school district.
Okay, Alma, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go back this way
Just
then.
wanted, and while we're chatting, if you could leave it, yes, I was just gonna say on the
We think alike, Alma. We think alike.
Yes, very much so. That's why we're very good friends. Well, we have quite a, just a few questions here for Sundt and your team. a lot of things mostly related on kind of where people can go. You know, we have folks across the board when it comes to scope. I really enjoyed seeing your registration site, the vendor kind of portal. I don't know if I've seen that with other primes where you have the two areas, right? The contractors, because a lot of folks always want to register with, you know, or ask for contractor information, but that you have this other section for folks that do professional services and all other kinds of stuff, the catch-all, right? Final cleaning, because sometimes those kind of folks feel left out. We had quite a few folks saying, if I do professional services, if I do consultant services, architectural signage, construction management, project controls, all those folks would then select that tab on the right side. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, so for you suppliers, for the professional service providers, like I said before, our signage people, we had a couple of signage people ask questions like, how do I connect with Sundt? Do I fit into any of these opportunities? Make sure you register. Make sure you register using that right tab.
Well, hold on a second, because
Okay.
signage can go either way, right?
Okay.
So signage being the subcontractor who's actually doing the, you know, maybe electrical signage or, you know, the big building signage. That's typically a bid package. So
Got
you
it.
would need to get pre-qualified for that. Signage that's just the temporary stuff, I think, like for safety and stuff, and Reese can tell me otherwise, but I'm pretty sure that those are just, you just register, because that'd be like PPE specialties or whatever, and those are paid through like an invoice. They don't have to be pre-qualified. Reese, do you want to share any information on that?
That's correct. Well said.
Okay.
All right. So then if folks really aren't installing signage, like they're just kind of providing it as like temporary, you know, or wayward finding or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Safety.
Got it. So there's a fit for everyone. That's
Yeah.
great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Safety. Okay. Very good. IT and security consultants. We have a couple of them here. Should they submit their quals under the vendor suppliers A&E tab?
I'd actually like Brad to share a little information about that, because any type of designer, consultant, that kind of thing usually will come up at the beginning during the design build phase, and they're putting their teams together. So Brad, if you can share a little bit about that. They would go through registration, but I'd like Brad to share some information on that.
Yeah, I would still recommend go through the registration, then we capture all the information. But a lot of times when we're putting together a design build team, we will be looking for some of those positions early, especially if it's considered a key position on the team in regards to the design build proposal coming out. Sometimes those positions aren't filled till after we win, and then we'll be looking to round out our team with people that will help us to be successful. But you know, during the pursuit, you go so far to go win the project, and then a lot of times after you win, you complete the balance of the team. There are opportunities, I would say, both for the design side of IT and special services, but also sometimes on site, we need just an integrator to help us really focus in and champion you know, how we deliver IT and special services. So it could also be, you know, staff augmentation, which we've done in the past. But, you know, I think it depends on the background you have and the services you want to provide. So that's one of those areas that probably want to talk through in a little bit more detail.
Excellent.
Thank you, Brad.
Very good. Yeah, thank you very much. And folks, just wanted to be reminded one more time, the project that you were shortlisted on, that Sundt was shortlisted on, and I believe it was that for the airport, and I believe it was the administration building, correct? Is that correct?
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, we were one of 9 teams that filled out the qualifications package, and we are now one of 3 teams that have been shortlisted for the San Diego admin building. The previous slide showed it was 150,000 square foot admin building for the San Diego airport. It's really going to house the relocation of the people that currently reside. There's a few other departments, but mostly those that reside within the commuter terminal that will need to get demolished in order to build a new terminal that's coming up. So great opportunity. The RFP, the final step of that procurement comes out this coming month. My understanding from talking to the airport, the award of the project is not expected until about the May timeframe of next year. So we still have about 6 months before we find out whether or not we'll be building that project.
I also, Alma, hold on a second. I also,
Yes.
we did not put in here, but there are 2 TI projects that we are pursuing. And I'd like either Brian or Brad, if one of you guys can talk to, one to United and one to Southwest, but I just kind of wanted everyone to know that those projects, they're fast.
Yes.
Well, there's actually 4 projects. And I mentioned this earlier, the ASB building that we're currently completing. After the first year, there's 4 tenant improvements that are going to be part of that project. One is for Southwest and another is for United, Delta, and American. Southwest Airlines and United, we're actually one of several contractors currently bidding for both of those. Southwest Airlines goes in on Friday, United goes in on Tuesday. Delta and American, we are proceeding under a design-build relationship. We're currently in the middle of design, and we'll have packages for those that will come out sometime after the first of the year, and we'll start construction for those approximately the March timeframe.
So please, 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 please get pre-qualified, get with Lisa and get registered.
Pre-qualification is so important. And, me working for San Diego Unified School District, being that we also have the mandate from the state to get folks pre-qualified, in addition to the primes pre-qualifying the subs that they'll be working with. I mean, we can't speak to it enough. Get pre-qualified. If anything, it definitely is like it's like an introduction of your business to the prime. So that's a way that you could kind of be seen, right? So in a crowd of a bunch of people, this is a way that you can say, hey, look, this is what I do. If you need me, you'll already be popping up, when they look for concrete contractors, you'll be already included in the list. So that's it's a great reminder, Deanna.
Yeah, let me
Pre-qualification
throw
is so
something else
important.
out there, Alma. I think you and I
Yes.
have talked about this. I've presented this on your stuff before, but I don't know how many people are still out there, but super important. There's been so many times when people from the field, the superintendent, the project engineer, Brian's called me, Brad's contacted me. I mean, Reese's people from the field contact me when something comes up and they need somebody out there and they need them tomorrow, right? And I always will have a list of small businesses. I'll pull from our database or various databases. What happens is I give them 3 to 4, sometimes depending on how many they ask for, names and company names. They call those companies. The results I get back from my people are they didn't respond. So I had to go with this company. There's been times when we have actually set packages aside strictly for small businesses. We've made it only going out to 3 small businesses because we needed 3 businesses to bid on. 3 small bid. We made it special for them. None of them send in a bid.
Yes.
So we have to resend it out. And then we still aren't getting the bids. So we end up having to go to a large company. And that's not what we want to do, guys.
Yeah.
We need to have you guys respond. And because that's the way our team's going to get to know you. And they'll call you on the next one,
Right.
but definitely respond and make sure that contact information's there. And when we set up packages aside, like Brian's done this, Brad and I have done this at the San Diego airport, several of our trade packages, and we didn't get the small business bidders. So that made it really hard on all of us. My heart breaks, and the guys are like, Deanna, there's nothing we can do. We got to move on. So please.
Yes. So for all you folks out there, if you get an email directly from someone at sundt.com or at, fill in the blank prime.com, make sure you respond. If you get that phone call too, make sure you respond.
Alma, I think you cut out.
Direct calls from someone in the field, make sure you respond to them promptly, because these projects, they just turn around so fast. And if they're calling you directly, usually, I'm sorry?
You were cutting out. I think you're back now.
Oh, I think my connection is a little funny there, but yes, make sure you call your your folks there. It looks like that's all the time we have for questions with the Sundt team this morning. Thanks to our presenters for all of your information. And for those questions that we weren't able to get to, you have your outreach information or your contact information here present on the slides. Make sure you reach to Deanna if you're not sure who you need to talk to directly. Deanna's a great contact. She'll be able to point you in the right direction. And before I hand it back to the airport, I want to give a pat on the back to the attendees that have participated in all of the Meet the Primes presentations so far. There will be 2 more presentations with Primes this afternoon and 1 tomorrow morning. Tomorrow on October 29th as well, you'll get a chance to meet prime concessionaire operators and small business concessionaire operators sharing about how to become a successful concessionaire in the airport industry. Tuesday next week, November 3rd, it will be all about the airport. The small business development team will be discussing how to do business with the airport, and all the sessions will be focused on various airport programs and requirements, things that are designed to help you, the small business. Last but not least, on Wednesday, November 4th, you'll get to meet some of our public agency partners, all of our friends in the business outreach area. They will give you some insight on how to do business with each agency and upcoming opportunities with each of us owners here in the local San Diego area. Also, in the afternoon session, business incentive credits will be discussed. So don't miss out on that presentation. It's the very last thing for Meet the Primes. So please, please don't miss it. I'd like to bring Maria back on for a few last words before we end our hour here with Sundt. Maria, back to you.
Thank you, Alma. And yes, thank you for going through the schedule. So make sure everybody stay tuned until the end. It's a great presentation, a lot of good information for you guys at the end of day 5. I want to thank all of the I want to thank all of who participated in today's presentation with Sundt. I want to remind everybody to please circle back with them, reach out to them, reach out to us. We could connect. That's what we're here for. Don't ever think that we don't want to hear from you. So please, let's get involved. A lot of opportunities coming up, and we want to see new companies get involved with us. So we don't want to be using the same companies over and over. There's enough work for everybody. We have a lot of new businesses in San Diego, so let's get involved. Reminding everybody, our next presenters will be Clark Construction at 2:30 this afternoon. Today is our second day of 5 exciting days, as you saw from the schedule. So a lot of information to help you grow your business. Stay tuned. We will be mailing out a survey at the end of day 5. Please take the time to complete it. Your honest feedback is what helps us improve planning these events. So please answer our survey. A special thank you to Sundt for your excellent presentation and to our support team. We couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you. We will be closing this session and returning this afternoon. So thank you, everybody. And I will stop the recording.
Thank you.
Thank you.